Aquarius in traditional astrology is ruled by Saturn, but in modern times its ruler is Uranus. Uranus is the planet of sudden changes, bizarre changes that you weren't expecting, and Aquarius being a fixed air sign, this can create a sort of an anomaly because the two energies are very opposing to each other. And that is why you will find a lot of Aquarius sun signs being quite unconventional in their thought process, in their belief systems, in their outlook towards life. So if you want to know more about the Aquarius sun sign, watch this video. Hi guys, today I'm here to talk about the Aquarius sun sign. But before I move on to talking more about, Aqua Sun signs, I wanted to let you know that, if you are having some troubles in your life, let's say if you are stuck in a career which you don't really enjoy, you don't really like the job, or let's say if you're stuck in a love relationship that's really not heading any way, or if you're stuck in finances and not able to manifest the wealth that you desire, then I can help you through your birth chart. I do natal chart readings. I will analyze your chart and identify exactly where the challenges are in your life and what is holding you back from moving ahead and really getting the most out of life. I also do synastry chart readings, which are also love compatibility readings. So if you're in a relationship and you want to know where it's headed, if you want to know whether it's going to be harmonious, what are the issues that might come up, then I can do that as well. I analyze both of your charts and tell you if there is scope for harmony or if there is going to be issues down the road. And I also do tarot card readings. So if you want to know your, the life direction that you're headed in, I can analyze your past, present, and future and tell you where your life is headed and what you can do to get the most potential out of your life. So if you'd like a natal chart reading done or a synastry chart reading done or tarot card reading done, you can get in touch with me on my website. It's Venusianscorp.com. Or you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Venusianscorp. And you can also drop me an email at astroluck111@gmail.com. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I also wanted to talk about one thing. My new book of poetry is out now. It's called Fire and Earth, a collection of poems for every journey. I posted the link to the book on Amazon in the description box below. So if you like Venus and Scorpio vibes, if you like Venus and Scorpio content, my poetry book is all about Venus and Scorpio feelings and emotions. It has 6 different chapters on love, sorrow, sadness, despair, transformation, feminine transformation, courage. So there are poems for every mood and every occasion. So if you like poetry, if you like musings, do feel free to check out my book on Amazon. I posted the link in the description box. And those of you who are a member of Kindle Unlimited and Kindle Owner Lending Library, you can also read the book there. So let me know and do purchase a copy if you like poetry. Thanks a lot. So let's get started with Sun in Aquarius. So Aquarius is ruled, like I said, Aquarius is ruled in traditional astrology by Saturn. But in modern times, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the planet of sudden changes, unexpected changes, things that happen without any warning. And these are the kind of changes that take you by surprise. You weren't expecting it. And Aquarius is a fixed air sign. And because of the fixed energy of Aquarius and the fact that the ruling planet itself is known to signify rapid changes, unexpected changes, there is always this conflict inside the Sun and Aquarians. This is why they come across often as being quite unconventional in their thinking, the way they approach life. They are the type of people who like the eccentric kind of people, the people who are rebellious, the social outcasts, people who are a little bit weird and eccentric in some way. These are the kind of people that Aquarians tend to like. Aquarius is ruled by the number 11. It rules the 11th house of friends and social circle. And like I said before, its element is air and it's a fixed sign. Now, fixed air, if you think about it, fixed water is Scorpio, that's easy to to imagine. Like fixed water is ice, but if you think about fixed air, air is always meant to be flowing. If you have fixed air, it's kind of a little bit difficult to visualize what that looks like. So this is another thing that contributes to the unpredictability, or the unconventional nature of Aquarian sun signs. Now that doesn't mean that they are completely unpredictable. They have a method to their madness. They might be very unconventional in their thinking, but at the end of the day, they are a fixed sign, so they do have a certain modus operandi that they follow, and they like to stick to doing things in that way. Now, Aquarius rules the 11th house. The number, it also rules the number 11. And the number 11 in today's day and age, as we are entering the age of Aquarius, and I thought I should mention this because it's pretty relevant to what we are experiencing right now. As we are entering the age of Aquarius, a lot of people are, seeing the number 11, repeat instances of number 11. So, 11, 11, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, etc. And it's not a coincidence. It is actually a sign of us awakening to the higher consciousness. And when I mean that, I don't mean it in an esoteric sense where you're chanting something and you're praying to somebody. It's not about that. It's about waking up to your own potential as an individual, as a human being, and realizing that you have what it takes to make your life the way you want to. And that is what the age of Aquarius is really, really about. The energy of Aquarius is all about realizing your own potential, your own worth, and taking steps, taking concrete action to make sure that it happens, to get the life that you desire. And so, if you're happening to see a lot of these repeat numbers, then, it's a sign that you are on this track. You are on this track towards higher consciousness, towards higher spirituality. But then you will have to do the work. Nobody is going to give it to you on a platter. You have to do the work. But yes, you get to manifest whatever you want to manifest in this life, because it's all in your hands. So Aquarius, because it's ruled by Uranus, Uranus is the planet of technology. It's about gadgets. It's about science. So a lot of Sun and Aquarian sun signs, they love technology. They love to use gadgets. They love science. They love studying scientific articles and subjects. Now, again, the 11th house is the house of, friends and social circles. So a lot of Sun and Aquarians, Aquarius, they will have a large circle of friends, many, many friends. But a lot of them might be just at an acquaintance level. They are not the type of people who would have very, very deep friendships. Most of their friendships will tend to be largely connected to the social sphere. So like, going to parties or visiting somebody's house, and mostly around that realm. It's not like at a very deep level. It's mostly to do with their social circle and hanging out with friends. But they do have a lot of friends. They have a large circle. The 11th house is also about helping humanity in general. So Aquarians tend to be the type of people who love to help other people. They love to help uplift humanity in general. And the way they do it, the gadgets that they use, it'll always be through technology that they'll do this. Now, what that can mean is, probably using computer programming to generate, or, creating an application that helps improve the lives of people in some way. It'll basically be about using technology or science in some way in order to benefit humanity as a whole. Now, there can be a disconnect sometimes because, Aquarius, the sun is about the identity. It's about yourself. It's about your ego and how you relate innately to yourself as a person. And the 11th house is about the social circle, how you connect to humanity as a whole. What is your approach towards humanity? How do you want to help uplift humanity? And so, a lot of Aquarians, they have this tremendous inclination, like this tremendous drive to help humanity and help their, the people around them. But at the same time, because the sun sign is in Aquarius, sun is their ego, at some, and also because Aquarius is a fixed sign, at some point of time, they may be all about the team, they may be all about the, helping out people and working in a team, in a group. But at the same time, because their sun sign is strongly connected to Aquarius, it's all about their ego. So at the end of the day, they may want to sort of take matters into their own hands. They may want to do things a certain way, their way. And also because it's a fixed sign, Aquarians can be kind of stubborn. All the fixed signs are known to be a little bit on the stubborn side because they don't tend to change their mindset and their way of thinking too much. They are not like the mutable signs. So they don't tend to generally go with the flow. If they've decided on something, that's the way they want to do things, their own way. So this can create a certain bit of conflict, especially if they're working in a group, because, they may want to help out the group and the people, that they're working with or they're associating with, but their sun, their ego comes into the picture saying that, no, this has to be done a certain way, the way that they want to do it. So this can create a bit of an anomaly sometimes. Aquarians, like I said, because Uranus is ruled by science and technology, a lot of Aquarians, they tend to be extremely cerebral. Again, it's an air sign, so most of the air signs, actually all of them, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, they all are very cerebral signs. They think a lot. They're in their head a lot. Rather than feeling things, they are not like the water signs. Rather than feeling things, they are more logical. Like they're more cerebral. So if you tell them something, they are not the kind of people who will take things at face value. They need to have scientific proof before they believe something that you're telling them. And they're also the type of people who do not tend to believe in esoteric stuff. Like, they may be the type of people who brush away spiritual stuff as being like extra woo-woo, or like, they don't really believe in that kind of stuff. They believe in logic, they believe in reasoning. And like, if you tell them something that cannot be explained, then they'll be the type of people who will be very skeptical about it. Sometimes like they can struggle with feeling what other people are feeling, like, because even though they want to help humanity as a whole, their approach is through the logical realm. Their approach is through being very practical and using technology, using scientific methods, using things that have been trusted and, proven before, rather than, going through a route that is more intuitive and more, on the feeling realm. Parents tend to have a very unorthodox way of thinking. And, their way of thinking, their thoughts, their belief systems, a lot of the times it's way ahead of their times. They are the type of people who have very unconventional thinking. Again, it's because Uranus rules Aquarius. Uranus is about unconventional belief systems. It's about sudden changes. It's about eccentricity. The energy of Uranus is like electricity, So Aquarians tend to be charged by unusual thinking, by almost bizarre ideas. And, they are the type of people who will make it work by using technology, by using science, by using their logic and reasoning. So no matter how bizarre, the idea may be, they are the type of people who can make it happen and manifest into reality because their ruling planet is Uranus. So now that we've talked about, the main traits and characteristics of Aquarius, I also want to touch a little bit upon the shadow side of Aquarius, because I've been talking about it for all the sun signs. So one of the things that can manifest as a shadow side is that, they tend to be, because it's a fixed sign also, and they are quite, logical in their thinking. They may feel like their belief system and their opinions are the only ones that are correct. And they may think that, whatever somebody else is saying is completely false. It may, let's say if this is a conversation, a healthy debate that's happening in a group, and say, the Aquarius is talking about something that they believe in, and they put forth their argument, and the other person is saying something that's contradictory. The Aquarius may find it a little bit difficult to, align themselves to the other person's thought, because first of all, they have a little bit of a superiority complex, because they feel like their way of thinking is so unconventional and so logical and reason-based that anybody else who cannot contribute at the same level of logical reasoning does not really stand a chance in terms of their opinions. So a lot of the times you'll find Aquarius people being very stubborn about their opinions, about their viewpoints, and because it's a fixed sign also, they can remain stuck in these belief systems, in these patterns for a really long time. And this applies to to all the fixed signs: Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. They can tend to be they can get stuck in that rut where they think that their opinions are the most important, or the right opinions, and everybody else's is secondary. And that's not very good for healthy discussion or coming to a consensus or an agreement about something. They can also be quite vengeful. Now, this is something that is not often talked about. Usually, Scorpio is known to be, everybody talks about Scorpio as being the most vengeful sign, and how they're out to get revenge and the stinger, etc. But actually, Aquarius can also be extremely vengeful if they really want to, spoil the other person's reputation or damage the other person. So. But their approach will be very different. Aquarians can get detached very, very quickly. That is actually one of their... it is kind of a shadow side because, to really connect with humanity, you don't want to be detached. You want to be able to reach out to people. But because Aquarius is an air sign, and because it's also fixed, they can mentally switch off, and they can... And also because it's a fixed sign, once they've made up their mind about somebody or something, and they do not want to engage with another person anymore, they can really detach from the other person and situation. And once they mentally detach, once their the mental switch is turned off, they can actually become very cold and detached towards the other person. And their form of vengeance is not so much psychological as it is more about acting completely cold to the other person. Completely being detached towards the other person. And so, yes, a lot of Aquarians, they can be vengeful, and because it's an air sign, they are very good at talking. In the sense that, on the surface, if they are out to get revenge, these are the type of people who will talk to you on the surface like there's nothing wrong, but then, behind your back, they are actually going about plotting their revenge in a very logical, in a very cold, rational, thinking sort of way. I would think that, if there was an MBTI type for an Aquarius sun sign, it would be the INTJ. So, yeah, that's the kind of logical, detached, cold reasoning that they can really get to that place if they are in that dark space where they want to take revenge on somebody. But not everybody is like that. Most of them are quite sociable, and they really like to get along with people because it does rule the 11th house. It is about helping humanity and uplifting humanity as a whole. The other thing that can manifest as a shadow side for Aquarius is, sometimes they may not really walk the talk. So they may say something, but they don't really lead by example, or they don't really do their actions don't really communicate what they are trying to communicate in their philosophy or what they believe in life. They can do a bait and switch quite often. Like they can say something which makes you think in a certain direction, but then the next time you meet them, they might be completely different. And this is kind of contradictory because Aquarius is a fixed sign, so ideally they are supposed to remain on an even keel. But again, like I said at the beginning of this video, because the ruling planet is Uranus, which is the planet of change and sudden changes, it's not even like gradual change, it's sudden changes. These people can do a bait and switch quite often. Like they can say something but mean something else, or they may say something one day where you were led to believe something, and the next day their actions communicate something entirely different. Of course, it will depend on the whole chart, how Uranus is being aspected in the chart, whether it's in a good place, whether there are malefic aspects being made to Uranus, and also Saturn, because Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius. So guys, that's my take on Aquarius Sun Signs. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I always love and appreciate your support and encouragement. I love reading your comments and I love responding to them. So do subscribe to my channel if you like my video content, and there's plenty more coming up. There are new videos being posted every week. So give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my video, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.